King's Karate presents Basic Form Number 1, the instructional video. The name in Korean, Gicho Hyung Ilbu. You begin from Chunbei stance, and you should already know what Chunbei stance is according to the other videos. But the first move in almost any form is a head snap to the left, because you want to look at what you're concentrating on. So the very first move is look left. The next one, fold for a low block. The next, step. And the fourth move, low block. So again, starting from the beginning, that looks like the first 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do that one more time. Look, fold, step, block. And you should end up in a front stance facing forward. Next, you raise your fist to center punch, and step through and center punch with your right side. Then, look behind you, fold for a low block, step behind you, and low block. Raise to center punch, step through, and center punch. So your knuckles should be right at solar plexus level. Next move, look left, fold for a low block, step and low block so that you're facing the same direction as when you started in your Chunbei stance. Raise that to a center punch, and you're going to begin 3 stepping through center punches here. 1, 2, 3, and a ki at the end. Hip! The next pattern is to look left, fold for a low block with your left arm, and you're going to do a 3/4 turn, stepping way behind you and across to turn and land in a front stance facing this side in a low block. Next, raise your left hand to center punch level and step through and center punch. Look to the right, fold for a low block, step directly behind you, and into a front stance for a low block. Raise that right hand to center punch, step through and center punch. Going back down the center the other way is the same thing as when we came up the center this way. We look to the left, fold for low block, step to low block, and then you're going to raise to center punch and step down through 3 stepping through center punches. So I've raised to center punch, and I'm going to do 3 stepping through center punches. 1, 2, 3, and ki. Hip! Look left, fold for low block, step into a 3/4 turn all the way around, into a low block. Raise to center punch, step through and center punch. Look to the right, fold for low block, step behind you, and low block. Raise to center punch, step through center punch. From there, wait for an instructor to call Pado, which means look, and Chunbei, back to Chunbei. Now, a couple of tips. Through any form, you should always make sure that your eyes and head stay as level as possible. So when, for example, the only time that I change my head level is going from Chunbei down into my front stance. So I look, fold, step, and block, and you see my head dip a little bit. From here, through all of the other moves, my head level does not change because my legs stay bent in each of these stances. Now, this form is pretty repetitive. So you can go through and do your low blocks and your center punches, and everything will be pretty much laid out for you. There's not a whole lot of complications for this form. The only complications are the 3/4 turn at the end of going down the center and then coming back down the center. And some of the turns can be a little tricky, so I'll give you one more tip. When you've come down the center with your 3 center punches, and you're about to do a 3/4 turn, when you look, your foot placement is very important, because I need to end up in a front stance facing that way. So I'm going to place my foot in a position that as I pivot on the balls of my feet, I land in a perfect front stance. You should be able to know front stance from some of the other videos. But whenever you set your foot down, you should keep that in mind, that you're ending in a front stance. For example, the very first move that I do from Chunbei, look, fold, and when I step, I've stepped not straight out to the side, but to the side and back a little bit, so that when I pivot on the balls of my feet, I end up in a perfect front stance facing whatever direction I need to face. So make sure that you put your feet right where they need to go for each turn, and that whenever you turn, you keep your head level and your whole body goes into each move that you do, whether it's a center punch or a low block. You always use your whole body as leverage and get the most power out of your frame. And that's basic form number 1.